So this next position will be low level finishes. So when you attack below the knee, how are you going to score? So there's a few things to think about here. Again, position is still really important, but there's a lot more creativity that happens around here because this guy might have different defenses than the next guy, than the next guy, than the next guy. And you're going to have to be able to navigate through all of those different finishes. Some guys are really good at going closed wizard. Some guys are really good at getting their knee back over the top, covering their head, or causing a stalemate by jumping over and grabbing a far ankle, all sorts of different things. So being able to finish a low-level attack is really important. One of the most basic ones that I see is when you shoot a sweep single, a guy will grab his own ankle and try to go closed off wizard. Now, there's a few finishes that I like to go through from here. One is just to slide it up my inside leg and get to my feet. So this is one of those things where you transition from low level to mid or high. And anytime I can get to my feet, my chances of scoring go up. So I'm in on the single leg. Here he has a closed wizard. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to jam my knee right under his hand. If I can get under his heel, that's great. One thing that happens though is guys try to stay on their foot when they do this. What I like to see happen is to lock my hands right at his knee as I pull this up my inside thigh. So once I pull this up my inside thigh, now I start to have him, I control his knee. So I'm no longer in the low. I'm still low, but I'm no longer on below his knee. I'm right at his knee. I'm going to start to rotate my back foot up, and I'm just going to start pulling this up as high as I can here. So now that forces him to get up on his feet. Once I'm here, my outside hand is going to go thumb down. I'm going to put it right on the back of his jaw to stand him all the way up. Now we're back to our high-level finishes where I can go club and back check. Okay, so this is kind of a transition. I see this one so much, and guys get stuck here. They're like, "Oh man, I don't know what to do." You just got to work the problem. That's the biggest thing. You got to be a problem solver down here. So I'm going to attack above the knee. I like to put two hands on it and jam my knee under his shin and slide it up my body. Here. Now, some guys like to go outside leg up and try to pull. I'm okay with that. I don't think it makes a big difference once I'm here. I like to turn my knee up and keep my head in position so that I can't get cross-picked on the backside. If I do this, you can start grabbing my ankle and throw it to the backside, which I've actually seen happen in high-level matches. So I slide it up my thigh here. I keep good head position, and I'm ready for him to attack that foot. Keep his hand down and make sure I'm in good position. He's going to keep trying to go close wizard. What I'll try to do is turn his body and hip to get his knee back down. Now, what happens though is when he starts to keep his knee down, my hand's there to catch it. Once my hand's there to catch it, I can push it up and wrestle back up to my feet. Go club and take him out that way. So if he has a closed wizard, I'm just going to pull it up to my inside thigh and then wrestle in that position. So we tried to ramp the leg up. Let's say this guy's got a lot of outside pressure on us, and for some reason he's able to keep our head forward and we're not able to get him up to his feet. And sometimes that happens. So another finish that I'll hit is I'll start to go peel his own finger or his fingers off of his own leg. So I'll start to go peel those legs and kind of have a thumb rule. So like I'll peel and then it will be like this. And then sometimes I'll try to beat him in a thumb wrestling. Not really, but that's the idea that you want to go for. And I'm going to go down and I'm going to peel his hand off. Once I peel his hand off, I'm going to use my knee to kind of block so that he can't re-grab the shin wizard. So what happens is some guys will take the hand off. They'll take the hand off and get backside and then just let it go and the guy just re-grabs. So what I do is I peel that off and I kind of drop my chest onto his heel. Once I drop my chest onto his heel, I'm in a pretty good position. Now some guys won't dig their toe in. They'll just go flat laces. And I'm going to have to reach underneath and grab that foot. I really want two hands on the leg. I don't really want to just hold on with one, because if this guy feels me peel off, he might be able just to kick straight out and get away from me, which I definitely don't want. So he has that closed wizard. I peel those fingers off and I'll hold them until I can get my chest on that heel. Now once I get that chest on my heel, or chest on his heel, I'll start to grab those laces. Once I grab those laces, I'm gonna drive off his back foot and try to get his hips over top of his knee, that way. And then I'm just gonna work to a basic shelf. Shelf on the outside of your leg. When I'm here, I wanna pinch with my ribs and my thigh, and I kinda wanna sit back here. Now I'm just gonna look to capture that back ankle. So what I do is he has that closed whizzer. I'm gonna fight hands. I'm gonna get my knee behind on the inside of his foot. So his foot will be in between my knees. So once I'm here, I'm gonna try to get my foot inside, and then I'll start fighting hands. Once I fight hands, I'm gonna drop my chest so he can't re-grab, and I'm gonna grab his laces. Now, I'm not in great position here. I need to use my legs to get in better position because he's kind of twisting out. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna scoop his leg out this way, and I'm gonna drive with this shoulder back that way. So I'm gonna scoop here. He doesn't like that on his knee, so that's why he turns into me. And once he turns into me, I can start to shelf this leg up on my hip and wrestle from there. We'll go over the backside finish in a little bit, but for now, we're gonna peel those hands off, put our chest on the thigh, grab the laces, get backside to score. So sticking with that closed whizzer, I can't ramp it up my leg. I'm not able to grab his fingers, peel his fingers off, and get my chest on the thigh. Next, and I'm really stuck. My head's down, I'm not really able to go anywhere. So what I'll do is I'll go 2 hands on the leg, and I'll start to step behind it. And as I step behind it, I'm gonna use my leg, and I'm gonna get perpendicular to him so that I can capture his opposite side foot. So, face this way. So I'm backside here. And if he's up, it's the same direction that I want to be. If he's on 2 knees, I go on 2 knees. If he's on 2 knees, this is where I'll hook here. This is the idea that I want to hook this back foot. Once I hook this back foot, he can't really kick away. If I try to do it without hooking, if I try to step behind without hooking, and then I try to whizzer kick out or limp arm out, he's just going to kick out. So if I need to hold on to this guy and that knee's down, what I might do is I might pressure into him and then look to step on that foot. We'll change the angle up so you can see it. But this hand will go, grab the laces, and I'll just limp arm out. But the key is I want to have that back foot trapped. So we'll go again. Here, I'm going to get behind the leg and I'm going to try to capture this foot. Once I capture this foot, this hand is going to go grab these laces here, and then my hand that's on the leg that he has a closed whizzer on is going to limp arm out. So I'm going to be here, and I'm going to limp arm out. Notice how I'm turning and looking away from him. I'm not trying to limp arm into his body because he's just going to jam me up here. So I'm going to look away to limp arm. Now I have this foot, and I'm pinning down his other leg, and it's a pretty easy score. So once I'm in there, I try to peel, he's just too strong. I try to ramp, he's too good a position. I try to get my knee behind, and then I try to get perpendicular with him. So I rotate and then use my foot to go capture that other foot. And the reason I do that is because I don't want him to kick away. Once I'm there, I grab laces, and I continue to get my head away from his body to limp arm out, and then wrestle. So this next finish, again, maybe when I'm trying to step backside, Dan's outside leg is up. I'm not able to hook his foot. I'm still not able to peel his fingers, and I can't wrap it up. So what I do is called a wrist roll. So I'll go capture the foot with my opposite side hand, and then I'm going to take my hand that's on the leg, and I'm going to go over top of his heel and feed him my wrist. And as I feed him my wrist, that'll break his grip on his own leg so that I can shelf it up and wrestle into my backside position. So I'm in a closed whizzer. I can't go get it with my foot. So I'm going to grab his laces, and then I'm going to rotate my wrist here. So I'm stuck. I rotate my wrist here. I don't really care that he has this arm. All I'm worried about is this heel. So I'm going to use my outside foot to bump him forward, and I'm going to grab this foot and heel here. So one more time. I'm stuck. I give him this hand. It doesn't matter where he is on his shin whizzer anymore because he's off of it. He can grab my wrist all he wants. He can have my arm. That's okay. I want to wrestle in this position. Once I'm here, he has my arm. I'm going to be able to do whatever I want pretty much. I can stand up to my feet. I can pick up his knee. I can try to limp arm out. Or I can just start, if I'm just strong enough, to just pull my arm out. So turn this way. See my backside. So I'm going to give him my wrist. I'm just going to give him my wrist. That's basically the function of it. Okay? But the key is I need to hold on to his foot when I give him my wrist. So I get behind it, I grab my opposite side hand, and then I wrist roll out to finish. Now, what'll happen is this guy will feel that my wrist is coming through, and he'll try to pull my arm and wrestle a 2-on-1 and wrestle in that position. I don't really mind because I'm going to be behind his leg, and I'm going to have it shelved into a position that he can't really do anything other than hope for a stalemate. And if we wrestle through that position a little bit more, here, I give him that. Well, I capture his back foot anyway on this side too. Now, I shelve and wrestle up. He can start to roll. Now, grappling might be a little bit different, but folk style, freestyle, rolling that wrist, giving that arm. And then what will happen is that I can wrestle an inside leg. So here, I can go wrestle here. I can grab over top of his leg. I can shelf it, pull it up, let him wrestle that side. I want to stuff him with his own legs if possible. But for the most part, I'm just going to wrist roll out, shelf it up on the outside of my leg. So this next position, I shoot a single leg, and it's more of the transition of the single leg. So when I hit this sweep, a lot of times, and I said it in the previous video of the penetration step, I want to keep my shoulder tight. This is one of those times where I don't really want to keep my shoulder tight. If I know that this guy is going to go closed whizzer, or if he's going to try to limp me out, all I'm going to try to do is shoot, and as his knee comes down, I'm trying to catch his shin. So I'm here, I reach. All I'm trying to do is capture his shin, and I'm trying to get my head out and away. Okay, so go knee down. So this is, when a guy goes closed whizzer, this is where I end up a lot. Okay, straight arm with this leg up, because I can hold on to this shin all day. Like he's trying to keep his knee down, and he's keeping his leg in a position where I just have ultimate leverage on it. So now I just stand up with it and wrestle here, one arm. So I'm going to hit that sweep. I'm going to snake my hand down and look to capture below that knee, right on that shin. Here, whoa. Notice how I'm already coming up. This is for when the guy really wants to wrestle down into you. He wants to wrestle that closed whizzer position. Now, I'm able to stay big here. I wrestle into him, wrestle backside, and score. So I sweep and capture that chin, and my head actually floats away from him a little bit. Here, floats away from him a little bit, and I'm able to wrestle here. So if Dan shoots a single leg, I'm going to wrestle down. Go ahead. Here. See how if he goes shoulder behind, I'm able to lock him in. If he goes straight arm, I can't lock him in at all because his position is too high. So what'll happen is he knows, okay, all this guy has is a Jonesy till or a shin whizzer, and he goes limping out. So all you got to do, shoot that sweep, straight leg. Or Dan's a sprawler. He's not a limp guy. So if he goes down, this is where I can sweep out. Now I can wrestle back up to my feet and score there. So when I shoot, if I know that guy is going to go close whizzer, so shoot a single leg on me, I'm going to go close whizzer every time. What he can do is he can just grab my shin, sweep to grab my shin, and keep his head out and away. Here, yeah. And now he's got ultimate control of my leg and my body. We're in trouble. So, one more time. Dan's going to go close whizzer right away. As soon as I shoot, he's going to try to drop to a close whizzer. See? It doesn't feel like much, but he can't really get away. The only thing, he's not really a kicker because he wants to go close whizzer. You have to know what your opponent is going to do. It's kind of like a guy who's rides legs, every single time they're going to throw a leg in, regardless if you're inside or not, because that's their safe place. So when I go sweep and I go shin grab, I know this guy's going closed wizard. Whew, I get my head out of there. Once my head's out of there, I start wrestling back into him because I can hold on to that shin forever. So he's basically holding me in position here because he needs to be closed wizard. There's not much that he can do. He might try to break my arm here, but really, I'm just using my legs to stand up and go this way. Now a guy might try to kick out, but a closed wizard guy, if he has his own shin, it's really hard to kick out from there. So basically, this finish in particular is for a guy who only wants to go closed wizard. Every single time, he's just gonna wrestle closed wizard, try to go Jonesy tilt, try to kick over the top. I just kind of hit my sweep, disappear out of there, and if I can get 2 hands to the leg and limp arm out, fantastic, but there's so many finishes you can hit there because you're facing the same direction, and he is so committed to that closed wizard that he's not gonna be able to do much else. So now, this is a little bit more of a traditional. So when you get down to the ankle, wrestle a guy who likes to grab his own shin and wrestle that wizard position. Not everyone likes to do that. So sometimes when I hit a sweep single, the guy might try to go straight leg, try to go split, sit on the top. There's a lot of different things that they can do. But one of the best ways to get to a score is once I hit that backside, my shoulder position is really important. I want to get my shoulder wrapped around his hamstring if possible. I'm still going to be below the knee, but I want to try to get backside on this guy. So I shoot my sweep, and I get all the way backside here. So now once I'm here, I'm going to start looking to shelf the leg. I'm going to, again, grab the laces. I'm going to drive into him. While I drive in, I'm pulling my arms back with his legs. So I'm going to drive into him, but pull his arms back into my leg. Now, once I'm here, again, I don't want to just relax. I want to keep this leg pinched in between my hip or my thigh or my ribs, and I'm going to keep my shoulder pressing down into him. If I can get his knee to turn down, that's perfect. Okay? That's how I know I have the right pressure with my shoulder. If his knee is up, sometimes it might be a little flexible. I might just have to go reach and grab that. But if I can put pressure down on his knee, now his hips are closer and his back leg is closer. This hand is going to climb up the thigh, and I'm going to reach up and grab that hip and secure my 2 points. Now sometimes what will happen is I'll be here and he'll just be flexible. I'm not able to get the right pressure on his knee. So what I'll do is I'll just reach, I'll climb. Again, I'm going to hike this leg into my pocket. So I'm going to hike this leg, slide up, climb it like a rope, go capture that far ankle, and then what I'll do is I'll hand it to my other hand and drive him to his hips to score 1 point. So I shoot my sweep single. I'm able to get backside here. What I'm going to do, I'm going to drive into him with my legs and my shoulder, and I'm going to pull back with my hands to get this leg shelved. Okay? If I can put pressure on him to get that knee to turn down, that's how I know I'm doing great. I can wrestle that hip. If I'm not able to get that pressure, what I'm going to do is I'm going to knee slide into him, and then I'm going to look to climb the leg and capture that back ankle. Once I capture that back ankle, I'll feed it to my other hand and wrestle to the backside. So this is just shelving the leg, wrestling backside. Shelf the leg, find the ankle. Get that leg up, pinch it with your ribs and your thigh. Look to capture that far ankle so that he can't go anywhere.